Hi there everyone, so in this video I'm going to be telling you about the eruption of Kilauea in 2018. Now, Kilauea is one of 5 volcanoes on the island of Hawaii. It is Hawaii's most active volcano. It releases basaltic lava, which causes a typical shield shape. So it's a shield volcano. When it erupts, it does so consistently, does not erupt explosively, like Eyjafjallajökull in Iceland. Now, the local Hawaiians believe that the goddess of volcanoes and fire, Madame Pele or Tutu Pele, resides within the summit of Kilauea, and it erupts when she wants to. So it is a force which cannot be controlled. So they believe that you can't change the direction of the lava flow as it is being caused by their goddess of volcanoes and fire. Now, Kilauea actually started to erupt in 1983. Which is the photograph on the left here. Scientists believe that in May 2018 to August 2018, that was the latest stage of a much larger eruption where the volcano became much more active and fissures formed along the lower eastern rift zone towards the Leilani Estates. So, of course, since Hawaii is located above a hotspot, the activity of the volcanoes is consistently being monitored by these 2 organizations, so the USGS and the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory. So volcanologists will be working for the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory, monitoring the shape of the volcanoes. They'll be monitoring the amount of sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere, and also the level of the lava lake in the summit of Kilauea, to try and predict when these volcanoes will erupt, or this volcano will erupt, and also which areas will be at risk. The USGS then collects this data and presents it in a variety of different ways so that they can show how the volcanoes are changing to government agencies and locals. So before the eruption, scientists noticed that the lava lake was changing in terms of its level. They also noticed that sulfur dioxide was being released from the summit of Kilauea, and also through the use of GPS stations and digital elevation models, they were able to recognize that the shape of the caldera of Kilauea was changing. Now, because of all this information, residents were advised to cover vehicles in plastic to protect them from the ashfall, and they were also advised to prepare their homes in case of seismic events. So they put latches on cupboards and removed items from the walls. Now, the eruption began on April the 30th, 2018, when the Pu'u'o crater of Kilauea collapsed. On May 4th, 2018, an earthquake magnitude 6.9 occurred, which was the largest earthquake of the whole period. And these tremors and eruption activities continued from May to August that year. Now, at the summit of Kilauea, sulfur dioxide was released. The rim of the caldera also subsided, so it sank inwards, and the lava lake drained as the lava was being released through fissures across the lower east rift zone. Another hazard was the mixture of sulfur dioxide and steam. This forms a volcanic smog, also known as VOG, which was moved by the wind to the central and south and western areas of the island of Hawaii. Now, those people on the island with asthma or emphysema are particularly at risk when VOG is spread across the island. Acid rain also formed, of course, posing a threat to crops and agricultural lands, with the possibility of having an economic impact in the long run. Now, along the lower east rift zone, or LERZ, which is here, okay, as you can see here, from Highway 130 northeastwards through Leilani Estates and towards Kapaho Bay, 17 new fissures formed. So a fissure is simply a crack or a break within the ground whereby lava is released. So 17 new fissures formed along the lower eastern rift zone. So there was activity at the summit of Kilauea where the lava lake was draining, the caldera was slumping inwards, there was an ashfall, but also further away from the summit of Kilauea, there was a hazard of a lava flow. So lava fountains formed along those fissures. Fissure 8 was the most active, and around these fissures, spatter cones formed. Tephra was also a hazard, which is airborne lava fragments, and also Pele's hair formed on surrounding vegetation and the rooftops of buildings. Now, Pele's hair, if you look at this top right here, this top right photograph, is where lava, which is carried by the wind, solidifies into glassy strands, which accumulate downwind from their source. So lava will attach itself to the rooftops of buildings or the crowns of trees and form strands. They feel a little bit like, they're quite coarse, and they feel like, I guess, the tail hair on a horse. Of course, Pele's hair gets its name from the goddess of volcanoes and fire, which is Pele. So this image here shows you the outflow of lava from fissure 8. So the F8 here represents that fissure. The brightest white area represents the highest temperature. It's a thermal image. So the lava was being released from fissure 8, travelling northwards through agricultural land and also residential areas. The lava flow made its way towards Kapahau Bay, where it then met, of course, the ocean. So it was the land and the ocean interface. This is a particularly hazardous area, as when the lava interacts with the ocean and lays a corrosive seawater plume laden with hydrochloric acid forms. There's also fine volcanic particles that can irritate the skin, eyes and lungs within the air. So it's quite dangerous to be in such an area. So the lava flow that came from fissure 8 advanced toward Kapahau Bay, as you can see here, where the lava was then released into the ocean, forming new land. So the primary effects of this eruption. So at the summit there was a column of ash formed as rock fell into the caldera, into the lava lake. The Federal Aviation Administration put a restriction on aircraft entering the area around Kilauea due to the threat of the ash. 700 homes were consumed by the lava flow, and 100 acres of land were affected by the lava flow. Crops were lost as it advanced through farms. Cracks within the ground also formed, and on the roads. These photos here are from fissure 14 in the Leilani Estates, and steam rose through the fissures. Secondary effects: many roads were blocked by the lava, making them difficult to navigate. Of course, any visitors to the area would not be able to access some of the popular tourist destinations of the island of Hawaii. So any businesses in those local areas would have been negatively affected since the roads were blocked, meaning customers cannot reach their businesses. Tourism was negatively affected, so images of roads being torn apart, the lava flowing relentlessly across the land discouraged people to book flights. So Hawaii's reputation as a holiday destination was damaged, and Hawaii's Volcano National Park had to be closed. It was actually closed from the 11th of May 2018 to September 2018. So the closure of the park caused a loss of $166 million. And the estimate suggests that the Kilauea eruption as a whole cost the state $200 million worth of visitor spending. Local businesses were also negatively affected. So, of course, in hospitality firms, so any hotels, restaurants, etc., around Hawaii Volcanoes National Park were inaccessible, and also there was a drop in tourist numbers, so they didn't have that same level of custom. Most tourists want to have a photograph taken with the lava lake in the background, as seen in this photograph here. Of course, since the lava lake, the level of the lava lake fell as the lava was being released from the fissures downslope, this means that this popular tourist destination attraction has been lost. It is unknown when the lava lake will return. A parking area also slumped into the crater at the summit. This parking area has actually been closed since 2008, so no one was harmed. And finally, after the eruption, anger and violence increased. Many people have had to live in shelters and temporary housing for months. So these people were from the Leilani estates. There have been reports of looting in evacuated areas as well. People are pressing for a place to view the lava flows as a tourist attraction. So those people who are running hospitality firms, they want these tourist attractions to be open again so they can start generating an income. But officials have been reluctant to put this in place. There's quite a good photograph here, which is a panoramic view of Fissure 7. As you can see the lava advancing here. This would be northwards towards Kapaho Bay. But you can see it's causing a blockage within the roads.